All right, we got everything unloaded. I'll start off right here. A little pine cabinet. The shelves are right there. I think I'll use this in the shop somewhere. And about an 8-foot long window valance. I'm going to salvage the wood out of that. 2 pieces of PVC trim, about 5 feet long. And then some scrap pine and 1 piece of 1x6 here that was painted. And here we got some 2x4s, look like some sort of a pallet. And I'll salvage the 2x4s out of that. And a 2x6 and a 2x4, about 6 feet long. All kinds of scrap 2x lumber here, and some plywood, an old shelf, and then there's a piece of oak, some melamine shelves right here, pine shelf here, more miscellaneous 2x lumber and scraps. All those little 2x4s come in handy all the time. 2 little 1950s child's chairs. So hopefully maybe I'll sell those. 1950s waste can and a plastic pitcher for the shop. And there's some miscellaneous stuff inside there. Some speaker wire, some knobs, an old doorknob, a porcelain tin for the shop there. This pitcher comes in handy for the finishing room for collecting liquids. And a little plastic basket. A little bit of spackle, the Easy Sand 90. It's nice and soft, so there's some spackle there. Some nice 4x4s. They're about 4 feet long. Here's a wash bucket. And kind of an interesting find, some traffic cones. I don't know what I'll do with those, but they're just kind of an interesting find. Now over along the wall here, 1 piece of sheetrock. Some more scrap plywood. That was some sort of a pallet or something. So I'll just salvage the plywood out of that. And there's a couple 2x4s I might get there. 1 big piece of 1/2-inch plywood and other miscellaneous plywood here. A couple of, looks like shipping crates. They're all solid oak, so I'll salvage the oak lumber out of that. This looks like a brand new piece of indoor-outdoor carpet. Don't know the size yet, so I'll figure that out later. Piece of hardboard, a couple pieces of hardboard. Here's a piece of glued up pine. Look like maybe a tabletop or something. Some nice birch plywood here. Some scraps of birch plywood. And a nice sisal mat. Doesn't look to be rotted, so I'll just clean that up. I can use that somewhere. A piece of landscaping cloth, and I actually use that as cambric for the bottom of chairs, so that'll come in handy. Over here, some wire mesh. I may have a use for that upstairs in the attic. More garden tools. Nice rake, a nice brush, and another little small rake. I came across a dining room table. The table was junk, but the hardware was good on it. So I salvaged the hardware off it, these table locks and these table levelers. And I actually just finished a table where I just used locks just like this. So now I've got some extra locks. A little bit rusty, but that'll clean up and maybe paint them. Another little shop stool. I got one of these 3 or 4 years ago, so I'll fix that up and use that in the shop. All right, here are some 2x2 drop ceiling Celotex tiles. I've got an ongoing project in the building. I might be able to use these, so that might come in handy. And these are 3 bar stools. I'm currently renovating one of the apartments that I rent out. And I built a bar height counter. And I've been searching around for 30-inch bar stools. I actually bought a couple stools a few weeks ago, but they were a little too big and clunky. So these look like they'll work better. So I only really needed 2, but there were 3 of them here. And as you can see, they're completely covered in mold and mildew. But I think they'll clean up really good, and I'll paint them and put new upholstery. All right, here's another thing I just bought a couple weeks ago. It was an 1.5 inch PVC pipe. So I'll just have to store this one away and for the next time I need one. And here are some attic baffles. The funny thing is I just bought some of these a few weeks ago. I had to tear down the ceiling upstairs in the apartment that I'm renovating. And I actually installed some of these, so I had to go out and buy some. But there's another section of ceiling that I'm going to take down in another part of the building, so I'll be able to use those when I do that. And as you saw when I was unloading, a nice shipping blanket. I'm going to stick that in the washing machine and clean it. All right, to speed things up, I got the pressure washer out, and I'm having difficulty bending down. My knees are sore. So I got the pressure washer out to make it a little easier to clean everything instead of getting on my hands and knees and scrubbing everything. So first soaped everything. I put some dish soap in the pressure washer. First I had the narrow nozzle out, and then I switched to a wider nozzle.